What is up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Michael Jade and you are watching my channel. Alright guys, let's get into today's video. I'm going to be transforming my Ludwig Zepp set here with a Gibraltar stealth rack as well as a Gibraltar 46-inch curved rack setup. This is going to be for in the studio as well as using live because fortunately I have come into a situation where I have a gig again. So I need to be thinking about, how to make gigging easier, and that's going to be kind of what this video is about today. I'm going to try and provide some helpful tips to those that are kind of just now getting back into gigging. I myself haven't had a gig in about 4 years now, so this is also going to be just for me to a refresher course on just kind of prepping for going out and playing shows again, because shows can be often chaotic. You have to get up on stage and off stage again really fast, and a way that you can do that is having a rack set up. That to me is one of the quickest ways, as opposed to having a bunch of individual stands like you see right here. So let's get into this. This is my Ludwig Zepp set. This is probably what I'm going to be using to play out. You're probably saying, Michael, that is not exactly the most gig-friendly kit. That's enormous, and you would be correct in that, but all I gotta say is rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. I would also like to say some helpful tools to have whenever you are constructing a rack setup would be obviously a drum key. This Gibraltar ratchet drum key is pretty awesome to use. Big fan of it. Also, a level is a nice thing to have because you want to make sure that everything is nice and even. You don't want to have anything crooked. So these Yamaha stands that I have, these are single braced medium duty Yamaha stands. These are great if you're not planning on having a lot of cymbals, or if you're not in a situation where you can get a rack right now. However, I'm wanting something just a little bit quicker and something to just save time a little bit in between those throw and go kind of gigs. So let's get into this. I'm gonna start breaking out the racks, and I may fast forward this up just a little bit, but yeah, let's go. Now my favorite part, the bubble wrap. Alright, so we've got everything unwrapped and it looks like everything's here. We've got our 46-inch curved bar with 2 multi-clamps on it. Which I don't know if you can see or not, there we go. So we've got the 46-inch curved bar here with 2 multi-clamps. We've got the clamps that will connect that crossbar onto the legs. Here are the 2 legs of it, and we've got 2 feet, and then we've got 2 Gibraltar cymbal arms. I may or may not use these, we'll see. I've got some other cymbal arms over here with some gearless tilters, which I would prefer. So let's start assembling this now that we've got it all unwrapped. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here and just assess things and see how things are looking. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I went ahead and utilized the cymbal arms that came with the rack. I also had to grab some extra mounts as well because the rack only comes with 2, and we're going to be needing 4 total today, so 2 extra on the rack as well. So let's get this thing dialed in, and whenever I come back, we should have some cymbals on this thing. Let's go. Man down. I repeat, man down. Okay, so clearly that took a little bit longer than expected, but as you can see, after a few hours of finagling and busting knuckles, I finally got this in a place where I'm pretty comfortable with it. And I kind of figured it's about a 5 to 10 pound weight savings, so it's kind of negligible, so we're not really saving much on weight. But as far as ease of setting up and getting up on stage, man, this is going to be a game changer. So with that said, I think it's time to press on and start doing the other side, the stealth rack, which will hold the tom as well as the snare. And I've actually got an extender arm that's going to come over and hang on to the hi-hat stand to keep from any hi-hat creeping going on. So I'm going to get started on that now, and I will be right back. Clearly this project took a little bit longer than I originally anticipated. I started this around 2 o'clock this afternoon. It is now a quarter till 11 at night, but I'm done. And this is the final results of all of our labors and efforts. So when I originally bought all this stuff, I thought I was going to be able to take a regular rack clamp and go over and lock onto my hi-hat, but it's too short. So I had to figure out something else, and luckily I happen to have one of these weird kind of crazy multi-clamps laying around. But yeah, so this was a little bit of a curve for me, but I was able to make it work, and same with everything else. It's kind of a hodgepodge. I didn't use everything Gibraltar. A lot of this stuff, like this is a sound percussion clamp, as well as all these cymbal arms are sound percussion, which is not exactly name brand, but hey, it works. And they've got gearless tilters, so that makes life very easy. But let's take a cruise around this thing. I'm gonna grab that camera so you can see just a little bit better. So we have shrank our overall footprint on this thing quite a bit. Probably can't quite tell. You might be able to tell from some of the before and afters, but here we have this side. So hopefully this will not take me near as long to set up whenever doing a gig. This 8 hours business was completely for the birds. Yeah, so it's all finished. Now I just have to pack it all up and set it back up again, and then tear it all back down and set it up again until I can get that down to about 10-15 minutes, because that's usually about what you want to be able to do whenever you are staging at a gig. Hey guys, alright, so we're back up here in the studio. I wanted to, before ending this video, give you a little bit of an up-to-date update on where things are at with the rack. And just wanted to show you that I was able to, after the fact, get a Gibraltar multi-clamp that articulates at this angle, so that kind of solved the problem of locking up the hi-hat stand back there at that funky angle, as you can see. So that is really handy. I can't remember the exact model of it, but it is on Sweetwater if you want to check out that. Also on the other side here, I began to start putting my mic stands on the rack as well, and that's because I was able to finally get these Gibraltar RBAs. It basically turns this leg of the rack into another cymbal stand, which allowed me to free up the clamps I was using before to hold the mics. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to show you guys before ending this little rack build video. This is kind of really the absolute finished product. Just want to finish this video off by saying thank you guys for watching, taking time out of your day to watch me put this whole thing together. But helpful gig tips. Some things I've learned over the years. For one, don't take anything you wouldn't mind losing, because that can and often does happen when you're out gigging. So try to take things that, say you have a cymbal that you just love using to record and doesn't sound like anything else you've ever heard and you would never be able to replace it. Don't take that cymbal. Buy some really expensive ones that you can replace. They're expensive, but hey, you can still replace them. Another tip I would say would be to take almost 2 of everything that you can. Have a backup snare drum, or at least a backup snare head. A backup bass drum pedal is always nice. You don't have to get too crazy, but things that you feel like you may need or that may go on the fritz during the middle of a show, you want to make sure you have a backup for that. I have had my fair share of getting caught at a gig and something going wrong, like a snare drum breaking or a pedal breaking, and I've either had to borrow someone else's or kind of fix it and make the best of the situation. So you don't want to get caught in that. Always try to bring a double of anything that you can. Another gigging tip I would say is less is sometimes more. Sometimes more is more, but if you're in a situation where you're playing 4 or 5 band bills and you've got to get in and out in a matter of minutes, you don't want to exactly be bringing a double bass kit with 15 cymbals on it. As much as I would love to be able to do that, it always just doesn't call for that, unfortunately. And a lot of the places that you may play, the size of the stage may be just big enough for your entire drum kit and maybe a few guitar amps, and that is it. So try to condense, make yourself as small of a footprint as possible when you are going out gigging. Your bandmates will love you for that, trust me. I would say my final tip for gigging would be to be always conscious of your surroundings. You don't really want to be in the way of another band that's trying to load in or load up on stage. And you definitely don't want to be tinkering and setting up your stuff when another band is on stage. Try to get all that done before any other bands go on and play, so that you can enjoy the bands you're playing with, their set and their music. So hopefully they will return the favor and do the same, because that's kind of what it's all about. When you go out and play shows, you want to have a sense of camaraderie with other bands and support each other. So if that's one big takeaway I would say for gigging, would be to try and support the bands that you go and play with, because you know, if it was you, you would want them doing the same to you. So just be supportive of each other out there. I want to thank you all again for watching. Again, this was a blast, albeit a little stressful, but it was a blast and I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you had fun watching too. I will see you guys on the next video. Hopefully get some covers going soon, but thank you all for watching again. Take care and peace.